New York City sits on the east coast of the United States, between the Hudson River and the Atlantic Ocean. From crowds and traffic to being the world's major financial and arts hub, New York City's 5 boroughs offer almost endless possibilities for anyone who visits. Initially a Dutch settlement called New Amsterdam, once it was purchased from Native Americans, New York City quickly became a major trading and political center and was even the very first capital of the United States. With over 8 million people, 1 in every 39 Americans is from New York City. More than 800 languages are spoken here every day, and around 37% of its population comes from outside the US. The Big Apple, what the city is often called, is home to some of the most iconic buildings in the world, including the Chrysler Building, an example of Art Deco masterpiece, the Empire State Building, built during the Great Depression, the iconic neo-Gothic St. Patrick's Cathedral, and the New York Public Library, world's third largest library with over 50 million books, located next to the beautiful Bryant Park. Public transportation in New York City is one of the largest on the planet. It would take over 24 hours to ride all subway lines. No wonder a world-famous commuter train hub, Grand Central Terminal, with impressive Beaux-Arts architecture, was built in Midtown Manhattan. You can probably recognize the main concourse with its iconic clock in the middle from the movies, as it is a popular meeting place. Rockefeller Plaza, widely popular during the Christmas season, offers the top of the rock observation deck with a perfect panoramic view of the city. Other observation decks provide breathtaking views of New York, like the one at the Empire State Building or the Edge, the highest outdoor sky deck in the Western Hemisphere, located in Hudson Yards. Also located in Hudson Yards, you can admire New York City's latest architectural marvel, the Vessel, a unique 16-story structure with a spiral staircase. The building is located close to High Line Park, a 1.5-mile or 2.3-kilometer long elevated park built on a former railroad spur full of green areas, temporary art installations, and cultural attractions. New York City is home to hundreds of other parks and recreation areas, offering a great escape from the busy city streets. The world-famous Central Park is just one of several recreation spots with an array of activities such as ice skating in the winter or rowing a boat on a beautiful lake with unparalleled views of skyscrapers. Smaller but equally charming, the beautiful Madison Square Park, placed across the famous triangular-shaped Flatiron Building, are just some of the other popular outdoor places for New Yorkers and visitors to relax and enjoy the outdoors. Fifth Avenue offers a unique shopping experience, from famous designer stores to shopping malls like Bergdorf Goodman. However, shopping is not limited only to the Fifth Avenue. Impressive malls and interesting stores are spread throughout the city, from Brookfield, shops at Columbus Circle, to Eataly, the famed Italian grocery market and restaurant complex. New York City is famous for its food, from fine dining in some of the world's most exquisite restaurants to favorite New York bagels, the iconic hot dog stands, and $1 pizzas. Yes, you can get a slice of pizza for less than $1. A paradise for foodies, Chelsea Market was originally a factory complex where Oreo cookie was invented in 1912. Redesigned, it now offers an array of eating places, bistros, and food from all over the world. Check out our mobile-friendly travel guide that covers the top 20 things to do in New York City, including maps, itinerary suggestions, opening hours, links, and other information. By purchasing our travel guide, you are also helping us sustain this channel, so big thank you for that. The famous food stands are spread throughout the entire city, and you can find them even on Times Square, one of the busiest pedestrian areas in the world. Named after the New York Times Magazine Tower, the square attracts over 50 million visitors every year. The entire area is famous for shopping, dining, the venue of New Year's Eve ball drop, and enormous electrified ads, creating a surreal neon atmosphere. Times Square is located in Broadway Theater District, home to 41 large theaters. The majority of Broadway theater performances are musicals, but New York City also offers a range of other theaters, jazz clubs, and lounges. The city has been described as the jazz mecca because of all the legends who performed there, including Miles Davis and Charlie Parker. One of the main venues for both big concerts and sports events is the Madison Square Garden in Midtown Manhattan. New York City is also one of the world's hubs for comedy shows and is home to several notable comedy clubs. With so much to do at night, no wonder New York is called the city that never sleeps. Around the so-called Museum Mile, located close to Central Park, you'll find some of the most famous museums in the world, including the Guggenheim Museum, built by Frank Lloyd Wright, featuring a round walkway, the Museum of Modern Art, or MoMA, offering a collection of modern and contemporary art, or the Met, the venue of the famous Met Gala. Museum Mile is not the only spot with great museums in New York City. In fact, they are spread throughout. If you want to explore the history of New York's subway system, you can visit the New York Transit Museum in Brooklyn, set in a former subway station. And while you're in the area, don't skip the Brooklyn Art Museum, located close to impressive Prospect Park. In the early 20th century, African Americans moved to New York City during the Great Migration from the American South, and in the 70s, many people from Asia, Africa, the Caribbean, and Latin America were able to move to the US and revitalized its many neighborhoods. As a result, New York City we know today is the most diverse city in the world. Little Italy was once a large settlement of Italian immigrants and was a known mobster meeting place. Today, Little Italy is still home to several Italian restaurants and cafes, but the majority of the original Italian population relocated. Little Italy is shrinking, with Chinatown on one side and upscale Soho full of art galleries and boutiques on the other. Chinatown is home to the largest ethnic Chinese population in the Western Hemisphere and is full of Chinese restaurants, shops, and Chinese cultural organizations. The nearby TriBeCa impresses with cobblestone streets, with popular boutiques and restaurants, and for TriBeCa Film Festival. Other neighborhoods like Harlem impress with their cozy jazz clubs, African American heritage, famous Apollo Theater, and Bronxboro is the birthplace of hip-hop and home to the New York Yankees. graffiti and other street art spread throughout the New York City subway system and beyond. Once a guerrilla art, graffiti is now an internationally recognized art form. Much of the graffiti is temporary. This graffiti was, for instance, used to liven a construction site in the World Trade Center complex located in New York City's financial district. You can arrive there via Oculus, an impressive terminal station that peacefully blends with the surrounding architecture. The complex was rebuilt after the 9/11 terrorist attacks and comprises of the museum and the memorial, which is located where the World Trade Center's towers once stood, represented by two square reflecting pools. Right above, there is another modern observation deck located on the top floors of the tallest building in North America, One World Trade Center. Also located in the financial district is the city's buzzing financial heart with the world-famous Wall Street and New York Stock Exchange. Nearby, Lower Manhattan's Seaport features a historic waterfront offering retail, dining, and more. Located on the East River's waterfront, it provides a beautiful view of the city and towards Brooklyn Bridge that was once the longest suspension bridge in the world and is now one of the main tourist attractions in the city. Crossing the bridge to Brooklyn offers a whole new world of attractions and activities, such as the former industrial area DUMBO, one of the most popular Instagram spots in the city, or Williamsburg and South Williamsburg, with rich manufacturing past, art scene, hipster culture, and lively nightlife. No trip to New York City would be complete without the visit to Liberty and ELLIS Island. The Statue of Liberty, located on Liberty Island, was a gift of friendship from the people of France to the United States in 1886. It served as a lighthouse, guiding sailors home after a long trip. The American Immigration Museum on the adjacent ELLIS Island is dedicated to the former Immigration Inspection Station, which operated on the island from 1892 to 1954. Over 12 million immigrants arrived in the United States through ELLIS Island. If you don't have the time to visit both islands, take a free Staten Island ferry to experience the statue and the fantastic views of the skyscrapers from the water. Another great way to discover the city from another perspective is by riding the Roosevelt Island tram. If you visit New York City in the summer, don't skip Governor's Island, a former military base with many attractions and activities. New York City was the symbol of the American dream and many times the first stop for immigrants who arrived in the US. That spirit is something one can still sense in the City of Dreams, from its pompous modern architecture to unique art scene and much more. The Big Apple is unlike any other city on Earth. Don't forget to check out our popular video on top 10 things to do in New York City and the video on what you should know before you travel there.